Today, we're going to be talking about a tough topic, but a real topic. What happens if you default on your VA loan? We've made it to the last video. This is 31 of 31. I know a lot of people like to save the best for last, but I wanted to end it on a serious topic and one that is the last step in the VA loan process, but in a bad way. Now, whether you're going through financial hardship or just want to be informed, this is what you need to know if you fall behind on your mortgage or you're facing foreclosure with a VA-backed loan. Let's start with the basics, okay? Default, it basically means that you're behind on your mortgage. Usually that starts at 30 days past the due date, and it becomes more serious the longer that it goes on. Now, if you miss one payment, you'll get late fee, right? You miss two or three, your lender will likely start calling and start sending you hate mail, right? You owe me, you owe me, you owe me. At 90 plus days behind, you're in serious delinquency and foreclosure could be on the table. But there is good news, right? In the midst of all of this, the VA doesn't want you to lose your home. They have programs to help veterans avoid foreclosure if you act early. Hiding from a bad situation doesn't help. Now, if you're in the default area, these are your main options to catch up or avoid foreclosure. Set up a repayment plan. Catch up on missed payments over time. You can look at doing a loan modification where lenders add missed payments to the back of your loan and adjust your terms. There's a thing called a forbearance or a temporary pause or reduction in payments, often used after a PCS or a deployment-related hardship. Now, the VA refund program, in rare cases, the VA can buy your loan from the lender and work directly with you. But I've never seen that. It's very hard. Now, a short sale or deed in lieu of, if keeping the home isn't possible, the VA can approve a graceful exit without full foreclosure. The key here, you need to talk to your lender as early as possible. Nothing gets better with time. The longer you wait, the fewer options that you'll have. If no agreement is reached and payments don't resume, the lender can and will most likely foreclose. And here's what happens if that happens. First, your home is auctioned or repossessed. 2, the VA pays the lender part of the guaranteed amount. 3, you lose the house and possibly your VA loan entitlement and any equity you have in it. 4, you may owe the VA for the loss they paid out. Now, the last part surprises people. If the VA has to pay a claim to the lender, they can come after you for that amount. It's not automatic, but it is possible, and it'll affect your credit and your ability to buy again later. Let's talk about the VA loan entitlement. So if your home is foreclosed on and the VA does pay out, your entitlement is tied up in that loss of loan, right? And what does that mean? Well, that means that you cannot use your VA loan benefit again unless you repay the loss or you have remaining entitlement left over. Now, this is exactly why it's so important to work with your lender and the VA early if you're struggling. There's no shame in it. Like I tell my son, it takes a man to own up to mistakes and ask for help. Now, you'll be able to avoid the foreclosure and protect your benefit, but you have to talk to them. And yes, you can get another VA loan after you default, but it depends on how much entitlement you have remaining, whether you repaid any loss, your credit score, and waiting period. And it's usually 2 years after a foreclosure minimum. Now, you'll also have to explain what happened and show that you've recovered financially from whatever that issue was that caused the foreclosure. Now, veterans bounce back every day, and you can too, but don't let the damage get worse by avoiding the problems. So here's the bottom line. Missing a payment doesn't mean you're doomed, But the sooner that you act, the more options you're going to have to mitigate the situation. The VA has loss mitigation programs, but you have to communicate with your lender to see what they are. And foreclosure can cost you more home and your entitlement and possibly leave you owing more money to the VA. And yes, you can still get another VA loan with the time, right? Everything gets better with time, they say, right? But with time, recovery, and planning, you can reuse your VA loan. Now, if you're a veteran that's struggling with your mortgage, reach out. I'll help connect you with the right resources before things get too far. Okay. I had a veteran call me one time and he's like, Dave, I'm going to lose my house. And I said, did you lose it or are you going to lose it? Because there's two different things. And he said, I'm about to lose it. And we talked, and he basically took a job that went from a set pay to commission, and he wasn't making the money that he was expected to. So I told him, I'm like, let's not sell your house yet. Call your lender, see if they can take some payments, move them to the end. So they took 2 months and they moved it to the end just with a call. Well, he called me up about 2 months later, and he's like, Dave, I'm still in a bad way. I've got to sell the house. So we talked and we determined that selling the house was the best course of action, and for him to move into an apartment that was a lower price with less overhead until he could get back on his feet. So we sold the house before it became an issue. And sadly, he didn't have any equity in the house. And the appraisal came in low. So I ended up selling it for free. I didn't take a commission on it at all. And they still had a little bit of a gap. And I talked to the other realtor and I explained the situation with my client's permission and asked him if he would mind reducing his commission. Now, I want to say it was about $2,500, $3,000. It's about 6 years ago. And he did. We were able to get that veteran out of his home at no cost. He was able to get his his escrow funds back, so he was able to have some money coming in within 30 days. So there's all kinds of different things that we can do if you're in a situation, right? But you don't want to, if you can avoid it, you don't want to lose any equity you have in your house. You don't want to hurt your credit score, and you don't want to do anything that would jeopardize your VA entitlement. So if you're having some issues, like I tell my son, it doesn't make you less of a man to ask for help. It actually makes you more of a man. And, when you ask for help, you become more of a man by giving back and helping those that help you and making sure that you pay your debts back. So there's no shame in asking for help. If you get back behind from health reasons, PCS reasons, divorce reasons, sick kids, whatever the reason is, if you need some help, put it in the comments. Or in the description, it has some of my contact information. Email me if you don't want to put a comment on there, and I'll do what I can to help you out and point you to the right people as well. I'm a veteran. I love taking care of soldiers when I was in the military, and there's nothing better I had more fun doing than helping soldiers out. And it doesn't stop because I'm not out or because I'm not in. Again, I want to just thank you all for watching this series. If you've watched it from 1 to 31, thank you. It means that you've taken the steps to ensure that you understand your entitlements. It means that you understand the steps now, that if you follow them, how to set yourself up financially for retirement. It'll show you all the ways that you can use your benefits, how to, if you become disabled, some of the benefits that you have, all the way to including special grants that you can get for modifying your home. If I happen to miss something or didn't clarify something, let me know and I'll do another video. The thing I want to make sure I focus on is making sure that veterans know what they're entitled to and how to take advantage of it, because nobody took that time to take that young private aside and say, hey, look, once you do this, start doing this, this, and this. And I feel bad because as I made my way through the NCO Corps and got my commission, nobody ever told me this. It sucks that I had to become a real estate agent and kind of figure it out for myself. So I want to just make sure that I help you out. So I appreciate you as always. And if you could hit that subscribe button and help me out, I would really appreciate it. The more people I can get to see this info, the more veterans we can help together. Make sure you share it. So I appreciate you as always. Be safe out there. If you need help, ask for help. And I'm not just talking about homes, okay? If you need help, just ask for it.